2 minutes in the box with Gordo, with Coach Ray D'Souza and Gordon Maxwell in the house. All right, let's get to it. Last night, epic.
Yes, epic game. Just love the excitement and the vibe that was there. As soon as you got on the property in front of the stadium, I tell you, it was jacked. And before the national anthem, every seat was packed to the rafters
Oh,
with
it's
excitement.
unbelievable. I mean, 102.6% capacity, overflow sellout. I mean, what a time to be alive in South Florida sports. And this is a new hockey town, basically. You know, we all know it was a football town, but oh my goodness, we are in the grasp of greatness here, people. They want to go 3-1-3. We want three.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was lucky enough when I was walking in the door, Gordo, that I saw Bill Zito just finishing up his interview, his television interview, and I caught a selfie with Bill Zito that I'd like to share with our base, our fan base later on. So definitely, he is the architect of this whole movement that's going on here in South Florida.
Oh yeah, this man is a genius. I mean, Columbus Blue Jackets lose Sergei Bobrovsky and they lose Bill Zito. Bill Zito is a genius. The IQ's through the roof. You know, Dale Talon, he did everything he could, but history repeats itself. He built the Blackhawks dynasty from the ground up. You know, that franchise was dead for a long time. He got Jonathan Taves. He got Patrick Kane. He got Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook and Corey Crawford. This franchise for the Blackhawks and now with the Florida Panthers, Dale Talon, when he drafted Barkov, he drafted Ekblad, and he basically set everything up with a cool call, you know. And don't forget the other one we got to say with Sergei Bobrovsky, risky moves, but Bill Zito, he put his name and basically he didn't inherit the team. He basically reinvented the team.
No question about that. I mean, the big one for also South Florida hockey fans was obviously the Huberdeau Kachuk trade. Throw in Weaver there too. I mean, it has just been nothing but spades for us. Kachuk wasn't in the lineup last night. Barkov wasn't in the lineup. But I feel that those players still, with their presence and everything, have dragged, well, especially Kachuk. He has dragged his teammates. Oh, he has dragged his teammates to the fight, and they were fighting last night. I tell you, that fourth line was very impressive, and I tell you, there's a player, Gordo, that I've got my eyes on this year. He had 2 assists last night. Samaskejov, right? Did I pronounce it right?
Aki Samaskevich,
Samaskevich,
he
yes, and
looked
he
he,
took.
he looked fantastic out there, you know.
He is so fast. He's got Huberto's number now. So seeing number 11 out on the ice really feels good to the Florida Panther fans as well.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought I thought he played great. The fourth line played great. I mean, we have so much depth in the Florida Panthers, don't we?
Oh, I believe the depth's there. That's the whole key of a franchise. You know, if you have just one line and one pairing and a decent goalie, you're not going to win. If you have a very deep depth, you're going to be contending. I mean, hell, the Florida Panthers, when they lost Barkov, the odds went from being 1 to 5. And seriously, it would have been a lot worse if they would have lost Ekblad, Marchi, and Bennett. That line, they would have been dropping like a rock very
Yeah.
quickly into the sea, basically. That's how deep the Florida Panthers are, and their commitment of loyalty. And speaking of loyalty, we got an interesting word that Kyle Connor signed an 8-year extension with the Winnipeg Jets, another big name off the free agent market.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. Oh, that's a
96
big one. Yeah.
million. 96
That's a
million.
Ooh, boy, these salaries are getting big, and good for the hockey players. I mean, look at the NBA. Whoop, hang on. Uh, look at the NBA and the NFL. These players are making this big bags, and now it's time for the hockey players. Speaking of big bags, Connor McDavid didn't take a big bag.
That was shocking. That was shocking. I was shocked he got a bridge deal. He just gave the warning flare to the Oilers. You've got 3 years.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah, give me you listen, they've got some good key guys there, a great fan base, right? They've got the tradition, obviously from the Gretzky era, but McDavid is, the best player on the planet, right?
oh, 100%.
And he leads the way there. But hockey is a team sport, and it's built from the goal line out. And I don't see any goalie on the level that it needs to take to win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, the Oilers need that missing piece. A lot of teams want to duplicate how the Florida Panthers play. I mean,
Yeah,
who would have thought 10 years ago everyone was bashing and trash talking the Florida Panthers, like a team that was looking for a new lease on life, and
yeah,
look at them, it takes time
yeah.
and patience to build something from the ground up. And
Well, you need the right management, right? You need the right vision, and Bill Zito has brought that along with the ownership group. I mean, they weren't holding back. Vinny Viola and his team just really have done an outstanding job. I mean, just look at the value of the franchise has gone from
yeah,
what 250 million to 1.9 billion dollars. I mean,
700% increase. I mean, holy crap.
yeah, that's big time. That absolutely is big time. What an investment! But I tell you what, seeing all those fans last night, everybody, I mean, everyone's wearing red, some form of Panther outfits, hats, jerseys. I mean, it was just walking the hallways. It was a sea of red.
It was beautiful. It is the most beautiful thing, since the Joe Louis days of the Detroit Red Wings. That's
I
and
tell
the
you.
Calgary Flames in '04. I mean,
I,
holy.
I tell you, living in Florida is beautiful, and both me and you are such hockey enthusiasts, and we just love it. And yeah, we went through those dark days where there was only like 5,000 people in the stands, and half of them were free tickets.
Oh yeah,
Now there's a waiting list for season tickets.
unbelievable.
It's just incredible. And I tell you what, the energy was there. The team brought it. We got a good win, 3-2. But all four lines look great. Bobrovsky looked great. Um, I gotta tell you though, the first couple minutes of that game, we had our eyes on Connor Bedard, and he came ripping over the blue line
Oh
and
yeah.
right off the crossbar in our corner there. I wish I had the video on that one because I was fumbling around with my phone at that time. I'm getting a new phone today,
Oh
so
yeah.
if there's any interruptions on this, I unfortunately picked up a virus on my phone. But anyways, Connor Bedard, his skating, his strength for such a smaller player is
Oh yeah.
unmatched.
And his shot release. I mean, that was it was
Oh,
it was like the Matrix or something. Just like
yeah,
quick.
yeah. It was beautiful. I well, hang on now. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, his shot is, his forearms and legs. I don't know if you've ever seen him in his workout attire, but his forearms and legs are so big and
Oh yeah.
powerful
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah.
strong.
The
But
stride.
his IQ's there. He looks as strong as I've seen him in coming up into his third season of the NHL.
Oh yeah, he looks good. He was very impressive. But here's the guy I was very impressed with last night. I was impressed with Nazar. He
Oh,
looked unbelievable.
yeah,
Fast, crafty. I mean, the pure Michigan kid from Mount
yeah,
Clemens, Michigan, or St. Clair Shores.
yeah.
And this kid, who's only played like 50 something games in the NHL already in his career, gets his big payday, and
Yeah,
it was
talk about
worth it.
that, Gordo.
I'll
Talk
tell you.
about that contract that everyone was kind of like, why is this guy getting this big bag contract with only 56 games or 58
Oh, yeah,
games under
right
his
around
belt?
that range, right around that range. That
Yeah,
kid was just phenomenal. I was when I first heard the news back in like in August, I was like, why the hell are you signing this kid to a crazy contract? He's got to prove himself.
yeah,
56 games or something, and he split
yeah.
this time between Chicago and Rockford last year. But oh my God,
He was
that
impressive.
that kid can motor. His shot
A
was
lot.
and that nice assist he did right there for Timo
Yeah.
Teravainen last night. Oh my
So
God.
so he got a goal and an assist, right?
Oh yeah. He was
So
very
he's on both of the Chicago goals there.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. He's an impact player, all right. He is.
Well, we'll keep our eyes on that guy because yeah, he was definitely lightning fast. I was glad that you pointed him out to me, and I was watching him, and I'm like, no, well, and no question that he was definitely very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how this kid grows.
Oh, same here, same here. And I'll tell you, speaking of opening night, we had two other games last night.
Yeah,
We had the Penguins and the Rangers. Boy,
yeah,
Dan Muse, his first game behind the bench against the team he was an assistant coach for, when he was with the Rangers. He's the new Penguins coach. Wins in his debut. Solvaz, Artie, the goaltender for the Penguins, made his debut with the Penguins, won the starting job, wins 3-0. And Evgeny Malkin, two assists in that game. I mean, just wow. And
yeah. Well, two of the goals were empty netters,
oh yeah,
right?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Two of the goals are empty netters. I mean, Malkin still got lots to give. Crosby just looks, it's just he's got lots to give. It's amazing. I was looking at a an article this morning, Gordo, that Letang and Crosby and Malcolm, they've been together for 20 years and the longest in NHL history for a trio.
It's loyalty right there. That's
Yeah,
loyalty. Stick it to your guns. It's not like the NFL, the NBA, where they go chase rings and bling and all that
yeah,
stuff. Like basketball doesn't have that loyalty like John Stockton and Magic and Larry Bird and all those guys anymore.
right, right.
It just comes to show that they want to be there for their teammates and want to build something special. If you get frustrated and all that stuff, if management's not going to do anything about it, it's okay to leave, because
Yeah,
you did what you could, And I'll tell you, those two goals last night for Pittsburgh,
yeah,
Justin Brazeau got those two goals, very helpful indeed. Very helpful indeed. And I'll tell you what disturbed me is that Mike Sullivan lost to his former team 3-0.
yeah. Home opener in New York. I tell you,
They
that's
were
a tough pill to swallow because that fan base, they're pretty tough.
Oh, they are tough, and I'll tell you, yeah, I just got that eerie feeling that Terry Panarin's gonna be gone. Like that Ranger squad is gonna be imploding like crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
their window is gone. Their window
yeah,
is gone, and remember everybody was predicting like how the Rangers were gonna fulfill some like legacy thing. Saying, oh yeah, last year they were gonna try to win the cup and all that stuff. That everybody had them as favorites. They were very underwhelmingly underperforming last night.
yeah,
That was just brutal to watch. And then
yeah.
and I'll tell you another game I was watching last night, LA and Colorado. Colorado just smoked the Kings 4-1. I mean, look at the numbers. I mean, Nathan McKinnon broke Joe Sakic's
Yeah.
all-time point.
Yeah. Wow. What a feat that is in itself.
Oh, absolutely. And then,
Yeah.
don't forget, we got Cal McCarr, Cal McCarr with two apples. That dude
Yeah.
is special. And I'll tell you, his contract, I bet he's going to get $100 million. And then,
Wow.
and then you got Lane Hudson from Montreal. Who's going to get the bigger deal? That's the thing.
Right.
It-
Well, there's speaking of that game, there was a kid on the Colorado Avalanche last night and made the team this year. He was a draft pick for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I believe it was fourth round. And then, however, he got over to Colorado this year. Uh, he was in the lineup last night, and he is from South Florida, born and raised in Estero. And his father, I know his father very well. His father had a pretty good pro career himself, not the NHL like a lot of us, but a good minor league career. And Ryan Brindley, but the his son Gavin Brindley, who's I don't know, I think he's like 5'8" at
Small little bastard.
yeah, at tops, right? He's like 5'8". His IQ is so big, and his speed. Look out for this guy, man. Gavin Brindley is got NHL superstar speed.
Oh yeah, you always got to keep a guy who is under the radar, like low profile. This kid was just speedy and feisty. I
Yeah,
like it. He gets the feistiness from his father. When he
yeah,
plays the minor leagues, that's the guy
yeah,
you got to have in your team. Look, guys is a little scrappy, but he's got speed. I'll tell you, he was very
yeah,
fast. And I'll tell you,
yeah,
Martin Nietzsche, was part of the Rantanen trade last year. He had an impactful game. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, look at the numbers.
yeah.
He got like 2 goals out there last night, and I'll tell you,
Right.
there are rumors. There were rumors out there that he might not stay in Colorado, and he could be looking elsewhere. But I'll tell you, he's had a very unique career. He was a Carolina Hurricane draft pick and he
Uh-huh.
did well. And the thing is, I don't know what's up with him. Like he was putting up assist numbers like Joe Thornton numbers on the assists
Oh
last
wow.
year, and he just
Wow.
basically was flatly underwhelming. Towards the
Yeah.
end. I mean, like
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
forget, he had Nathan McKinnon and all that stuff. But
Right.
Colorado has got to do something. They've got to figure out if they can get someone in return in the long run.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, they anchored their blue line. Burns is out there.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, he looks great in a Colorado uniform.
Oh yeah.
It just seems like that's his territory,
Oh yeah.
He just
He looks like someone from the Rocky Mountains.
yeah,
He's got the look for it. He's got the
yeah.
the Colorado mountain outdoorsman
Yeah,
look.
they must love him out there. And I'm watching him. I'm watching him, and he looked great out there. How old is he? He's
40
got to be
years
like,
old, and he's like fourth consecutive games of all time. He's trying to chase. He's trying to get
oh
Phil
God,
Kessel. He's trying to beat Keith Yandel and
oh,
Jarvis. And I'll tell you,
what's his number at right now?
according to the hockey numbers, according to the numbers, Brent Burns, he's played so far. So currently he's played about 1,497 games. He hasn't missed a game since 2015.
Are you kidding? Oh my God. And he plays such a physical style too.
Oh yeah,
And he's on the power play, he's on the penalty killing. I mean, he's a stud, man. He's
oh
a
yeah,
real
yeah.
good stud.
Looking at his numbers, I mean, last year he had 29 points, but overall his playing career, 910 points, and this guy's got the numbers to prove it. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got
Mhm.
the Norris Trophy. He's a first team All Star twice, second team All Star once. He's been in the All Star game not one, two, not three, not four, not five, but six-time All Star for a guy
Wow.
like him. Looking at his numbers, according to the number of consecutive games, he's played 925 consecutive games that began November 21st, 2013, fourth longest in NHL history.
Wow. That's
That-
impressive.
oh,
And
absolutely.
for such a physical guy, see, that's really important to take note of this. The other guys that have these records, like Phil Kessel and Who else are we talking
Yeah,
about?
Keith Yandel and Doug Jarvis. Doug
Keith
Jarvis
Yandel.
Doug Jarvis
Yeah,
was
Doug.
OG, he was the OG. He had
Yeah,
964 games. He played from
yeah.
October 8th, 1975 to October 10th, 1987. That's like a 12-year period right there. He broke Gary Unger's record. Gary Unger had that record prior, and then Keith Yandel comes around. He breaks the record on January 25th, 2022. He
Uh,
played March 26, 2009 to March 29th, 2022. 989 consecutive games. Phil Kessel, he's technically a free agent still. He's played basically 1,064 games from November 3rd, 2009, currently a free agent, broke Keith Yandel's record. And I'll tell you, it's an amazing. I don't know if the playoffs,
Amazing feat. What
and
I
I'll tell
find it so amazing, Gordo, is Brett Burns plays a very, a physical style, and he's not afraid to drop the mitts. Whereas the other three guys, I don't feel that they play as a physical style. So to have that longevity he's like a journeyman out there.
oh yeah.
He's and to have that's very impressive. So that tells me, or tells us, that he takes care of himself.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll tell you, Phil Kessel, he is a survivor of cancer, testicular cancer, that is. And I'll
Yeah,
tell you, Phil Kessel is a tough SOB and he's a natural athlete. The dude can dunk a
he's natural.
basketball two hands. He can do a 360 windmill. That dude has got like Jason White Chocolate Williams swagger in him. And Phil Kessel, I mean, it doesn't matter what shape are you in physically, but this dude knew how
Yeah.
to take care of himself physically. You know, I mean,
Well, he liked those hot dogs, though. I tell you, on
and don't forget, he hates water and he loves Coca-Cola.
yeah. Well, I tell you, when I practiced, sometimes I'd have one water bottle of water and one water bottle of Coca-Cola, just to get me that, is in case we got bag skated, I needed that extra boot.
Oh yeah, you got to have that extra juice in there. You've
Yeah.
you
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Zdeno
Yeah.
Chara, Alex Ovechkin, like I bet you like half the league has like an alternative beverage just to
Yeah.
keep them going. I mean, Jack Hughes, he still loves his yellow Gatorade. When they switch from
Hmm.
Gatorade to, what
Hmm.
the hell is it? What the hell do they drink? Like Body Armor or whatever they drink. It's like,
Yeah.
not the same.
Hmm.
Jack, like some of
Hmm.
these guys bring in their own drinks because they don't like the taste.
Uh-huh. You brought up a name there, Zdeno Chara.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Big
So
D.
so they are retiring his jersey up in the rafters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, in January. Yeah. He is a nice guy.
Yeah.
Eh,
You met him?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll tell
Nice.
you, getting to shake his hand, it's like an oven mitt. It's like the perfect fit. I mean, it's like the perfect handshake. I've met Shaq, back in the day, like a few years
Oh
ago
wow. Yeah.
during the Cup Finals and stuff. And
Yeah.
and I shook his hand, and and I was like, wow, man, like it's almost like Zdeno Chara.
Yeah. Oh
Speaking of
yeah.
and
I've
speaking,
shaken Andre the Giant's hand,
no.
and I tell you what, I didn't even feel like a human being. I mean, I felt so small.
He's like this one of a kind human being god. I mean, that dude was like one of the greatest wrestlers who ever like played the game
Yeah.
and all that stuff. He ran
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard stories like it doesn't take him. It takes him like three cases of beer to get him drunk or something. Like
Yeah. Yeah, no, he sat down and drank quite a bit. All right, well, let's stick to hockey.
oh yeah. It's good storytelling. It's good storytelling. It's part of
uh
so we can get out of
Gor
bounds.
yeah, Gordo and I can venture off sometimes. We're just love sports in general. But obviously hockey hockey is our number one passion here. Uh, Speaking of hockey, how about the goat? I saw some video this summer of him uh, getting into hockey, and that's Tom Brady. was getting into hockey.
Oh my
Did you
God.
see the videos on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. And Ty Domi was there. And I mean, of all people, it's Ty fucking Domi. We're
Love Ty.
Oh yeah, he's a scrappy SOB. I mean, and then Tom Brady's like, "Don't you effing film this?" And Tom Brady's one of the goats of sports of all time.
Oh, for sure.
He's the culture of NFL football and anything in culture. It's
Yeah,
wild to see one of the goats try to skate and all that stuff. And he admitted it was a tough time for him to be on the ice. I mean, being on your edges, your insides, your outsides and stuff. It's not
yeah,
easy. We're both from, no, the north part of North America. You're
yeah,
from the Toronto area and I'm
yeah,
from Detroit. And
yeah,
we were born to be on skates.
yeah,
It's like Paul Bunyan. But I would tell you,
yeah.
we got some interesting games tonight. We got we
What do
got
we got?
we got the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto
Oh,
Maple Leafs.
oh my God. Okay, so listen, I wear red, but I bleed blue. Now, at this point, I only, I always make a joke. I want the Toronto Maple Leafs to be my pallbearers at my funeral so they can let me down one last time. You know, uh, I don't know. I feel so bad for the fan base in Toronto. It's what the Leafs put these people through.
Oh, I
I
hear
tell
you.
you,
I
oh
hear
my
you.
God, I over the years, and it's heart wrenching. And now being in the Florida Panther market for the last 23 years, obviously I've adopted the Panthers as my home team. But I know where I came from, and like I said, I bleed blue. But I bleed blue, but I. I feel for them, and I don't know. What do you think? How do you think they're going to do without Mitch Marner this year?
Um, it's a good question. I gotta feel that they got the pieces, they got their depth. I still think they're like a very dangerous team. I like Stolars and net, you know,
Solars, I like. Yeah,
and I feel like, Toronto's gonna be winning the Atlantic. Them and
yeah.
Tampa
They,
Bay.
they've got some good decor. Obviously, Matthews is just taking his game to another level.
Oh yeah.
Who else we got there? Tavares is still there.
JT Johnny's
Uh,
still there, and I think you got William Nylander.
he,
Nylander,
Nylander's awesome, but you know who I
45
like is
goals.
how about that Nyes kid? Hey, that
Matty
Nye.
Nyes, the Arizona kid. I mean, I'll tell you, Shane Doan loves having his Arizona brothers, and
Yeah,
also he's in Matty
yeah,
Nyes
for
there.
sure, for sure.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you, like I think Toronto's a very unique team, and I'll
yeah.
tell you, Montreal's very unique. You got Lane Hudson,
Oh,
the
I
rookie
tell
here.
you,
He's a
look out, look out for Montreal. I like what I'm seeing up there.
I like their up front on the offense and
Yeah,
defense. Cole Caulfield got 37 goals, but my
wow,
concern is it's the goaltending. They need a
yeah,
goalie.
goaltending.
If Carey Price didn't have to retire, man, that team would be. I would have them like top five, top 10 team in the NHL.
I agree.
And then now we've got three more matchups. We got Boston and Washington. You got Pasternak and Ovi against each other. Pasta had 43 goals. Ovi had 44 last season. And I'll tell you, the Bruins are in a crossroads of a retool rebuild, or should we blow it all up, But, they were just damaged and banged up, I mean, and letting Marchand go was a mistake, but
Oh,
that's the Panthers getting him. That's a big gain for them. Washington,
hmm.
they had a great run last year, but I think Washington's going to take a step back, in my opinion. And then
Yeah.
now we've got other matchups between Calgary and Edmonton, and the Battle of Alberta. I mean,
Ooh, that's feisty. That's like Tampa and Florida Panthers
oh,
right
oh,
there.
oh,
I
oh,
mean,
yeah.
and they go way back, way
Since the
back
80s, since the
in the
1980s in
80s.
hockey. But
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking Battle of Alberta during, the CFL days with the Eskimos and the
yeah.
Stampede. I mean,
So I'll tell you this: last year or the last 2 years now, my family members in Toronto, after the Leafs get eliminated, are now starting to wear Edmonton Oiler jerseys, like
What?
Edmonton became Canada's team. And I was like, are you guys crazy? You guys are Leaf fans putting on another jersey just because the Leafs got eliminated and calling it Canada's team. Well, I'll tell you this, that is not the fact, because not too many Calgary Flames fans were cheering for Edmonton the last 2 years
Oh
against the
yeah.
Panthers in the finals.
Oh
The
yeah.
rivalry is so deep in Alberta that, there's no way that a citizen of Calgary is going to be walking around with an Edmonton Oilers jersey,
Oh, there's no
Canada's
way.
team. Uh-uh. You got to take Calgary out of that equation.
Oh yeah, it's just like, if you're wearing a Blackhawks jersey in Detroit,
Ooh,
that
yeah.
that's sacrilege
Okay.
right there. That's sacrilege. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that was by far one of the like it's funny that when the Florida Panthers with their Stanley Cup rings, they showed up the other day. No,
Oh,
I mean they don't want any apologies. I mean,
yeah.
like, they don't care.
So we talked about the rings last night while we are at the game. And I, obviously love the rings. I mean, it's huge, it's beautiful. It's got the two Stanley Cups on it. We're going to show our viewers a picture of the rings next episode. But I had a funny feeling, and I mentioned it to you, like Brad Marchand, he would be the exception on this deal. But like, say, who Sam Samoskevich, right?
Um,
Okay, so he didn't.
and Seth Jones.
And Seth Jones, they get their very first Stanley Cup ring, but it's got another Stanley Cup winner on there, the 24 Stanley Cup. If the viewers, the ring has two Stanley Cups on the front of it, and one says 24 and one says 25. That's great for the core Panthers that have been there for the whole ride. That's great for, I think, Marchand, because he's won a Stanley Cup, so he actually has two Stanley Cups. But like a guy like Seth Jones, just personally, just my own opinion, I would like to have my own Stanley Cup ring. I don't want to, 2024. I wasn't even close to being a part of the Florida Panthers. Speaking from Seth Jones, so I kind of not feeling it 100% on the ring just for that fact. But the
Oh
rings
yeah.
are beautiful.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you, it was very interesting to see. In the last game of tonight, we've got Vegas Golden Knights and the LA Kings. LA Kings just played in LA. They lost 4-1,
Yeah.
but now they're
Wow.
playing against Vegas. Mitch Marner making his debut.
Yeah, him and Eichel, I tell you, the two of the, they're definitely in my top 10. I've always not been a big fan of Marner because uh, I haven't been a big fan of Marner because he just has never showed up in the playoffs.
I
He's
mean,
like, it's a different game, right? We all
unacceptable.
know it's a different game, right, Gordo? I mean, the real players show up in the playoffs,
Oh yeah.
and him getting $12.5 million a year, that doesn't rub me a good way there, Gordo.
It doesn't with me either. I mean, he's just another refugee just to jump on over to a no income tax state with no pressure. I mean, it's tough to play in the hockey mecca of the world. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the Leafs haven't
Oh
won in
God.
67. Montreal hasn't won since 93, and Edmonton
Yeah.
since 1990, Calgary 1989. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a tough place to play.
It is. I mean, the media is all over you. The fans are all over you. You're scrutinized. You're under a microscope. Those are definitely tough markets to play in for sure. I mean, there's still a lot of Florida Panthers that could walk around and nobody, a lot of South Floridians are just, getting introduced to the Panthers still.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. You
but
know,
you can't walk the streets if you go on a losing skid with any of those teams that you mentioned before. I mean, the fan base will just be all over you. Mitch Marner last year could not even go out I mean, he couldn't even
Oh,
go to a restaurant without being
oh, it
heckled.
was brutal. It was brutal that he couldn't like he had to have security at his own home, and he had
That's crazy.
a new baby kid, a new
Yeah,
baby boy, and I mean that's kind
yeah,
of like what the
yeah.
hell?
Well, and I don't agree. I don't disagree with the fan base because I'm watching Game 7 of the round with the Florida Panthers. What was that? The Atlantic Final, right? Or the Eastern Final?
That was the second round of the playoffs.
Second round of the playoffs, and it's Game 7. Good comeback by the Leafs, and Mitch Marner with his helmet off, yelling at his team with 5 minutes. Hang on. Mitch Marner yelling at his team with 5 minutes to go in the game. They're losing, I think, 5-1 at this point.
Oh yeah,
And
it was a
and
cemetery
and he
funeral.
took his helmet off and his hair was dry. Now, I've never seen a hockey player in the NHL that doesn't sweat. And that just tells me he's not grinding enough. And that rubbed the fan base of Toronto
And the
really
organization.
badly. Yeah, that didn't go over well what he did to his teammates. Like he's doing nothing out there. I mean, he's doing absolutely nothing and then yelling at his players and especially when it's down 5-1. That's not, you know, Mitch Marner's not high on my depth chart. I mean,
Oh yeah,
he's
yeah. It's crazy, you know. You got so Vegas. I'm gonna. So we got a few more minutes left here, but Vegas,
yeah,
they've got three guys in the lottery from 2015. You got Eichel, Marner, and Hannafin. I mean, that's wild. The Florida Panthers, they've got five guys from the 2013 and 14 draft. You know, you got Barkov and Jones from 2013. Then you've got Ekblad, Rhino, and Bennett from 2014. It's like, wow.
yeah, yeah. There's, just how it's been done here in Florida for the last. Well, it was 3 years. This is year 4 of the big rebuild, and we're sitting on a dynasty here.
Oh yeah.
And these players, we can confidently say that because we've got the core. I mean, there must be 9 or 10 players that are signed to 29 to 30, 20.
2030. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it's
12 players.
unbelievable.
They need to get Bob
And
Simon.
these players definitely could have got a lot, even Marchand. He was offered, I think, $10 million, and he settled for $6 million. Same with Ekblad. These players are taking less pay
To
to
stay.
stay together, and that just shows that unity of that's what teammates are about, man. To make it work,
Absolutely.
right?
Oh yeah.
I just love them all. Uh, Looks like we got a couple minutes left here, Gordo.
Oh yeah, so like I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And Coach Ray D'Souza and myself, this has been 2 minutes in the box with Gordo, the hockey guru.
The goo, the
Oh yeah,
goo.
that's right. That's right.
So, Gordo, we're gonna get out there in the Florida market, and you're going to be a goalie, and we're going to put a stick in people's hands that have never taken a shot on a goalie before. And this is like
Oh yeah,
grassroots building, and I can't wait to get a couple episodes like that.
absolutely.
That's going to be a fun stuff. From my standpoint, I'm on the ice today for 3 hours. Teaching my edge program, body control on edges with stick and puck extension to my
Oh yeah,
students.
absolutely.
Definitely want to, in the episodes, talk about edges and a lot of these great skaters in the NHL. I mean, we saw it last night. I
Absolutely.
was blown away by Bedard's edges. I'm always stating that Forsling on the Panthers is the best skater on the
Oh,
Panthers. There's no
absolutely.
question.